Good morning, everyone. Oh, those sounded so happy for such a dreary day. We're going to do a very simple prelude, which I hope you join me in. You don't need to stand. We're just going to sing a very simple phrase that I think you'll catch on rather quickly. This was written by UU composer, very talented musician, Hal Walker. He's one of those guys that plays every instrument, and the weirder, the better. But he wrote this lovely opening that says, "Whoever you are," and it's very simple. It goes like this. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. And that's it. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. Let's do that again. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. We'll just keep singing the people in. Wherever you are, we welcome you. And those at home, I hope you're singing. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you. One more time. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whoever you love, we welcome you.
Good morning. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. My name is Tim Versteeg. My pronouns are he, him, and it is my great pleasure to serve this congregation as its religious educator. I will be your service leader this morning. COVID-19 and other illnesses continue to surge and make spaces unsafe for many people. Masks are available at the welcome desk, and we continue to have social distance seating in our sanctuary, although I'm not sure where we're at with that this morning. It's usually over here? You're usually over here, but it's, Anyway, you stick a mask on, there is space over here too. Please take good care of yourself. I mean, there is lots of stuff out there, and take care of each other by staying home if you're not feeling well. We do thank the many people who are co-creating our service experience this morning. Our speaker, Reverend Jamie Boyce, music ministers Rachel Derry, and our men's group, Ian Challenger, Martin Dooley, Paul Hawkins, and Bruce Jones. Our tech team, Chase Tapley, John Elliott, and Claire Miles. Our worship associates, Sue Johnstone and Ian Johnstone. Our ushers, Daphne Payne and Karen Moore, and our greeters, Agnes Cunningham and Rita Mubarak. As always in our multi-generational services, our CYRE activity cart is available at the front to borrow items to keep your hands or the hands of little ones busy and active. We've got some other stuff we're going to do this morning too, so it should be a fun morning. A vital part of our lives together and our ministries to each other in the world is the sharing of news in our community. And this morning we have a few announcements to share. First one is immediately following this service is the vote on our 2024 budget, and that will be held in the sanctuary here. And questions will be welcome both in the church and online, but if you are a member, you can vote. If you are not a member, you may attend the meeting, but you don't have a vote. And there was a check-in, I believe, that was going on out front, and I'm sure they'll move in here after the service to make sure they catch up everybody so we know we have quorum. Zoomers and Boomers Vegan Tea Party. If you're curious about vegan or you just want to try some treats that are plant-based, there's a Zoomers and Boomers Vegan Tea Party on February the 2nd in Fellowship Hall at 1:30. Please RSVP to this event, and you can do that to Charlie Pond. More information, see the website. Or Sue Johnstone, actually, as well, who's right there. She's put up her hand. And from Cindy Carey, here at First UU Hamilton, we have a fabulous choir community. I think we can all agree on that. Having recently expanded in our lower voice sections, I believe we're going to hear some of those folks today, we could really use some additional sopranos. So if you enjoy singing, come on out and give us a try on Thursdays at 7:30 in the sanctuary as we prepare several songs for our once-a-month offering. And save the date for the annual general meeting. Our annual general meeting will be held at noon on Sunday, March 24th. We hope you will attend and help us usher in another fantastic year at the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. And then 2 upcoming groups that are starting, and both very exciting and both kind of different. First is Mindfulness Mondays at First Unitarian, and this is a group that's going to be headed by Melanie Schwint, who's a graduate of the University of California's Greater Good and Science Department. She's a certified mindfulness instructor, and these will take place starting Monday, February 12th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. in the sanctuary here in person, and they'll be every second and fourth Monday. If you want more information today, Louise McKenney is helping her with this. And Louise, if you put up your hand right at the back there, you can talk to Louise and she can tell you all about it. And there was a notice in the ACE this week. And the other group that's starting up is a Wise Elders Adult Education course, which Elizabeth Beckett and I are going to be offering on Friday nights in March, the first 4 Friday nights in March. We'll meet over supper and talk about life. Elizabeth wrote this, you can tell. What could be more fun? If you would like to reserve a spot in that group, please do just drop me a quick email, and that's tim@uuhamilton.ca. I'm excited about presenting this course. It's something that was developed by the CUC a number of years ago, and I don't know if it ever got piloted, so we may be also piloting the course at the same time, which is kind of exciting. Our chalice lighting, and I would like to invite Nikolai and Lila up to light our chalices this morning. So our chalice represents the light of hope at the center of our faith tradition. The spark of this flame draws us into our time of worship and community. And please join me in reading the chalice lighting words now shared on the screen with us. Oh, that one went out. Just a sec. Minor technical difficulties, sorry. May this flame be our light of friendship and love. Thanks, guys. Our land acknowledgement. The city of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. The land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and the Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Now today we are a city of 570,000 people, among whom there are 17,000 citizens with indigenous ancestry from across Turtle Island. The effect of settler colonialism is not a static entry in our history book. It is present in our life today. The responsibility of people with settler ancestry who continue to benefit from the land and its resources is to face the truth of our collective pasts and work for equity and justice in our present world. Only through truth can we hope to reach reconciliation.
Good morning. It is so good to be with you today. Welcome to our multi-generational service and celebration. My name is Reverend Jamie Boyce. I have the great privilege of serving this congregation as its interim minister, and my pronouns are she, her. Today, we gather to continue the conversation of justice as a foundational and essential value of our faith. Justice as it calls us to reckon with the past, make repairs in the present, and take hopeful actions for our common and shared future. Justice as revealed in the longings for freedom and liberation for all people and the earth. Let us celebrate the day together. Celebrate this community of all ages by offering a greeting to one another and welcome our neighbors. Perhaps place your hand on your heart and share with your neighbor, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. In just a moment, we will rise for our first song, number 1018. The words will appear behind me, but I want to share a little bit about this song we're about to sing together. The citation in our first hymn, number 1018, identifies it as an American spiritual from the period of American slavery. There is also a record of this song being sung as part of the American blues tradition by Blind Willie Johnson, a Black American blues singer born in 1897. Yeah, this song was first recorded in 1930. Let us sing together. Reverent of history and the traditions and cultures woven through the music we sing, please rise and body your spirit for our first song, 1018, Come and Go With Me.
So I have a new favorite book, and you're going to hear it this morning. It's called The Capybaras. I'll just wait, and there they are. And this book takes in place almost entirely in a chicken coop. And you ask yourself, what are capybaras doing in a chicken coop? But we're going to find out. This was a safe, agreeable place. Life was comfortable, and everyone knew what she was supposed to do. As we see them all laying their eggs. There was plenty of food, and nothing out of the ordinary ever happened. And you'll notice at the top, they're carrying off a chicken. Until one day, the capybaras came. No one knew them. No one expected them. There were lots of them. They were hairy. They were wet. They were too big. No, there was no room for them. But the capybaras couldn't go home because hunting season had begun. To be allowed to stay, the capybaras had to accept some rules. And I want you to listen carefully to the rules or the restrictions. Number 1, don't make any noise. Number 2, don't come out of the water. Number 3, don't come near the food. And number 4, don't question the rules. But of course, as these things happen, the youth started to get to know each other. And as often the case, made friends. The rules, however, were for everyone, and no one had permission to go near the capybaras. They were wild animals. And then another threat came to the coop in the form of a dog. And who saved the young chicken? It was the capybara. So they might be dangerous, but they could also be a help, because together we're all stronger. So everything changed. The days changed. And so did the nights. What could be warmer than a pile of capybaras in the middle of a chicken coop? Hunting season ended. The capybaras expressed their gratitude for being given refuge and got ready to leave. That year's hunt had not gone well, and the hunters returned empty-handed. The chickens got wind of this, and the chicken coop was empty. No one ever knew what had happened. And they arrived on a new shore. I enjoyed that so much, I lost my place. Here we go.
It's a really good story, especially for today. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. But let us rest together in a time of quiet reflection and meditation, dropping back into our bodies, settling into our seats, perhaps noticing our breath rise and fall, noticing the very edges of our fingertips and our toes, wherever they are resting. Let us take a deep breath, and breathe in peace. And as we release that breath, let us breathe out love. Breathe in peace and breathe out love. Our words of reflection and meditation this morning are from Reverend Bill Sinkford from the Book of Becoming, a spiritual guide for navigating adulthood. Only begun. Spirit of life and love, dear God of all nations, there is so much work to do. We have only begun to imagine justice and mercy. Help us hold fast to our vision of what can be. May we see hope in our history and find the courage and the voice to work for that constant rebirth of freedom and justice. That is our dream. Amen. Let us breathe in peace and breathe out love into the world. And rest in silence. May there be peace in our hearts and peace in the world. As we welcome the music for meditation, the congregation is invited to light candles of community. Each light a reminder that we hold our hurt, fear, grief, dreams, and happiness in the presence of beloved community. Now is the time in the service when we share the joys and sorrows of community. If you have a joy or sorrow to share on a Sunday morning, you can click on the Joy and Sorrows button on the front page of the congregation's website, or you can stop by this table to my right, aglow with a red candle, and leave your joy or sorrow for us there. I have a message this morning of relief and ongoing concern from Marion Sneed, who shares that her daughter Allison made it through the difficult surgery and is very slowly recovering. It appears there is no dangerous swelling of the brain, which they are incredibly grateful for. Marian and her family are so grateful for the love and concern of the congregation and appreciate all the good energy as Allison recovers. Marian and Allison, we send you our love and care. We have a sorrow from Paul Hawkins this morning. Paul shares that today, 1 year and 4 months ago at 10:25 a.m., Paul's beloved partner and love in life, Roy, released his spirit to the universe. Paul, we hold you in our love and care, and we know that Roy's memory continues to be a blessing for all of us, and most especially for you. You know, there are joys and sorrows among us that are too tender yet to share, and we hold those joys and those sorrows in the presence of friends and beloved community.
Our offering is a reminder of the spirit of generosity that is at the heart of our religious community. This morning, in addition to our congregational offering, in which we share our financial resources to ensure the continued existence of our church, we also have our monthly offering of food and necessities for the emergency food pantry of Eva Rothwell. If you need help to bring your items forward to the table, I have Maya standing by who can come and pick them up for you. And please raise your hand and he'll make sure that gets done. And all your contributions are appreciated and make a difference in the world as we live our mission.
Small craft in a harbor that's still and serene, give no indication what their ways have seen. They rock at their moorings all nestled in dreams, away from the roll of the sea. Their streamlines are growing tongues for to speak what tales of adventure they'd weave. But now they are anchored to sleep and slumber. Come higher winds to wake them, tomorrow we pray. Come harvest a plenty to them every day. Guided by harbor light, their home to stay. Away from the roll of the sea. Oh, had they the tongues for to speak what tales of adventure they'd weave. But now they are anchored to sleep and slumber. From the roll of the sea, away from the roll of the sea.
Your gifts in support of the ministries of our church and in support of Eva Rothwell are appreciated. Thank you.
I know it doesn't feel like it just yet, but we are on the cusp of doing something really, really fun today. So stay tuned for just a second, but let's wiggle for a second. I feel like let's wiggle a little bit. Wiggling helps loosen up some of that energy that gets stored up, and we are going to move around in just a few minutes. But I want to share with you, I have a bit of a confession this morning about today's service. As a cisgendered white woman, I am struggling with this word freedom this morning, and I expect that some of you might be struggling with this word too. I'm deeply self-reflective about what it means for me to use this term. I hear history whisper in my ear, reminding me that white women have often mistaken personal freedom for liberation, forgetting that an individual's ability to speak or act without limit is not the removal of barriers for others for those same rights. A conversation that feels compelling may be more compelling as we continue to reflect on justice and learn from C.B. Beale's amazing talk last weekend is, how do I bear witness to another's longing for freedom? Do we listen long enough to fall in love with each other's longings to be free, to discover that liberation happens when we show up to the cause of community? A poem by Reverend Julian Yameka Soto invites us deeper into this reflection. It's called, "To the People Who Have Mistaken Freedom for Liberation." To be free, you must embrace the breadth of your own existence without apology, even if they try to take it from you. You must know not that you can do whatever you want. You are not a kudzu, vine eating entire hillsides for the purpose of feeding your own lush life. You must know instead that inside you are entire universes, milky blue, magenta, and gold, expanding. But to actually be free, you must know and you must fight. You must know and you must fight for the entire universes inside of everyone else. Being free is not a license, but a promise. The invitation today is for us to bear witness to the worlds inside each other, to discover the quest for freedom among us. What do we need to be free, and how? How do we get free together as the ultimate act of collective liberation?
So you've heard Reverend Jamie's reflections on the word freedom and the struggles with that word. And I think this is always kind of the case with these big and important words, that the meanings are complex and can be interpreted in many ways. And we consider this all the time in CYRE because we explore the same values and worship themes that are contemplated here in the sanctuary each week. And I'm always amazed at the sensitivity, the wisdom, and the thoughtfulness of our children and youth when given the opportunity to engage with big questions. This week was no exception, and perhaps it impressed me more than usual because I had a rare Sunday off last week, and as I returned to my office on Tuesday morning, I found the result of the activity that I'd asked Monica and Tanya to present to our youth last week. They were asked to reflect on the word freedom after Monica read the book Martin's Big Words, following up on our celebration of MLK Day the week before. And I'd just like to read a few of these responses the kids came up with. Freedom to me looks like everyone being included. Freedom to me means my community can be together, and there will be no more war or fighting. Freedom to me is when the world is kind to each other, and freedom can be if we be nice. Freedom to me looks like everyone doing fun things. Freedom to me means my community can travel wherever they want. Freedom to me is when the world is at peace. Freedom to me looks like being able to go anywhere or do anything without unfair restrictions. Freedom to me means my community can work together to make change and a safe society for everyone. And there will be no more wars of aggression. And freedom can be if we all want it to. And finally, there is an option, and you should have received a sheet coming in, to just draw what freedom looks like to you. So I'll just hold that one up. So this morning, we want to give you all the same chance the kids had last week, to name your own individual conceptions of freedom, and in considering them with each other, perhaps discover some ways they inform our collective liberation. And if you hadn't already got a sheet, Miles will be circulating with sheets and pencils, so put up your hand if you haven't received one. And then I'll give you a few minutes to fill it in if you haven't already started to, being the Unitarians you are. And after a few minutes, we're going to split into groups of about 5, and I'd invite you to share those. And for those of you who are online, the questions are going to be put up on your screens for your own reflections, and I encourage you folks to share them during your online social hour. So take a few minutes, fill it out, and then I'll ask you to get into small groups. If you need something hard to draw on, there are some clipboards right back there by Mel. I think he's digging through for one now, but again, there's those. And if you want to be more colorful, there's a box of markers back by Dan.
Let's keep writing and let's huddle together. Let's create some pods of conversation among us. Let's group together, share, maybe hop over to a group, like mix it up, go on an adventure across the sanctuary. Move around, let's share, have a conversation about what you discovered this morning. Turn your chairs around.
Well, soccer is like one of the ones that
Are you on the?
I have a lot of yeah. I don't know, I figured one of my options are Toronto University, because they have a nice like soccer field.
You want to play soccer?
Yeah. I really want to do like some soccer.
That's a good place to play soccer. Great area. And maybe you could do. Do they give scholarships?
I think they do give some sort of scholarships. Not, I don't think just necessarily for soccer. But yeah, I did some research about it for my science class. So
I didn't know that. I knew you played soccer, but I didn't know.
I'm really last year or so. I made my rep team, so I started to get fired. It's like, so there's house league, which is like just in the summer. It's like not very serious, right? Just play soccer for fun. But rep league, it's like you go like around everywhere, and then you like compete in tournaments and stuff with like teams from like all across like Ontario or Canada. So
It is fun. You get people. It also gives you that. You're playing a lot of soccer.
factor out some other things.
Yeah, and it's like you have to take good care of your body and get a lot of sleep.
Yeah. Well, I can do that.
You can do that easily. I mean, it can be, well, you have to take care of your energy, right?
Yeah. Eat lots of food. Good food too.
Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you?
My mom normally cooks. She makes it.
What's your favorite thing?
Favorite? We had sushi last night, homemade sushi. I had like 5 like whole rolls. I ate so much. It was delicious.
That's delicious. That's delicious.
There's another thing. She makes. They're like deep fried like potato. Like balls, I guess. Like cheese or corn or whatever inside. Delicious.
So you're able to control it.
Yeah.
Soccer.
Hmm?
So we're talking soccer.
Oh, okay, very nice. That's one of Myas's favorite.
Well,
Did Myas tell you how he almost killed me the other night at Activate?
Did I?
Well,
that's right. You were activated.
just generally, but you guys were running to the point where I thought I was
I
going to
guess
have a
we
big
were
one.
fairly high intention, you guys.
I was fine till we got the laser room and I had to jump and duck and that.
There was a lot of jumping.
Yeah.
Here do those rooms where you get inside of it and you have to find the clues
Yeah,
to get out of it.
what do they call them? Yeah, escape rooms. Yeah, yeah. I've
It's
never
like that,
done
but like less like brain stuff, I suppose, and more like
Yes.
That one was-
reflex brain stuff. Because escape rooms, you have to like think about.
have to
Yeah,
think.
no, that was definitely more like, I mean, the word's right. I mean, what they call it, activated, it is active. Like, there was not a lot of standing still for that.
I would
Yeah.
prefer to activate. I did not like the feeling of being stuck
I think next time, I think we need to opt for laser tag though, because at least you can stop and hide in laser tag.
Yeah.
Activate, there's no stop. There's just
Can we
like,
do
I mean,
congregational?
I feel like we probably should have done some more.
a few people you'd like to shoot, Reverend Jamie?
Some more trivia ones, because there's like different activities for every room, and then like every room has like an entirely different setup, like
Yeah,
buttons
yeah.
or whatever.
It was cool though. I'm
was
glad
fun.
we went. Yeah.
There were like a lot of trivia ones, which we probably should have done more of. Like,
Well, if you'd done the trivia ones, Audrey and I might have had a chance to make it through the whole thing. Yep. All right, folks. I think we can call it because I know you could talk all day. It would be no surprise if Unitarians could just sat here and did this all afternoon, but we probably should
We have a song.
have a song. So we'll get Rachel back up here and we'll do our hymn.
You can stay where you are.
You can stay where you are, you don't have to move. We're in the home stretch. So Hymn number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do.
Here we go. You got to do when the Spirit says do. You got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you got to do. Oh Lord, you got to do when the Spirit says do. 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 You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you got to sing. Oh Lord, you got to sing when the Spirit says sing. 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 Now this you can do if you want. You got to dance when the Spirit says dance. You've got to dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you've got to dance, oh Lord. You've got to dance when the Spirit says dance. 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 You got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. You got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. When the Spirit says laugh, you got to laugh, oh Lord. Got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. 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 You've got to shout when the Spirit says shout. You've got to shout when the Spirit says shout. When the Spirit says shout, you've got to shout, oh Lord. Got to shout when the Spirit says shout. 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 And we are going to do one more time, and I want to hear you loud. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you've got to do. Oh Lord, you've got to do when the Spirit says do. 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 Spirit says do.
Spirit took my breath away. Go, beloveds, renewed in spirit, prepared to meet the days ahead, knowing you are held in a community of care, a community of seekers, a community that bears witness to your dream of freedom. Together, let us go forth and love the world with such conviction that it can't help but be changed by our goodness. We extinguish this chalice, but not the fire in our hearts, until we meet again in just a few minutes for our meeting, go in peace.
Okay, so I am letting the Spirit move me at this point, and we were going to do a very nice, let's go out together. But I got thinking, and when I hear the word freedom, the first thing that comes to mind is a song we used to sing all the time. It's a South African song that stemmed from the apartheid. And it came to us through a gentleman of Mr. Nyberg, who was a Swedish man, and went down to South Africa and kind of worked because he wanted to connect with South African singers, to the Swedish, to European, and to bring their music to us, which he certainly did. And so I think we're going to sing Freedom is Coming because, and it's not difficult. If you don't know it, we'll just join in, because these were the songs of protest. These were the songs of we are people, we have hope, we are going to make a change, and how appropriate is that? We will borrow it, and we will acknowledge that we are borrowing it, and we will sing it as allies, which I think is a gift for us. So if you want to join me here, this is how it goes. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, yes, oh, freedom, oh, freedom. Oh, freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, oh, freedom. Pure harmony is freedom. Help yourself. Freedom, freedom is coming. Oh, yes. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Awesome.